Welcome to Time Traveler's Coin Exchange. Tonight we're going to have episode 171 of The Coin Vault Has Opened. Tonight we're going to be looking through a roll of 1987p. They are Lincoln Memorial cents in their mint cello still, so these are not, these have been cut out of mint sets. They still all have their mint cello on them. So this isn't a traditional roll. There may be more or less than 50. I'm not 100% sure. It looks like a little bit more. But welcome everybody. Hope everyone is having a good night. Fortunately, I checked my microphone here, and my computer had crashed earlier today, and it went back to default, which would have been no audio. So here with audio tonight, unlike the 8 videos that I posted of my coins earlier, but it's not a big problem. Just my short coin videos. So people will get a nice respite of nice quiet stream. So let me dump these out and we can get started. I only saw a few obverse double dies, which mainly just consisted of extra thickness. Wow, yeah, I'd say there's more than 50 here. It's a huge pile. But we'll look at the conditions here, and then we'll take a look at them up close and see if we can find any of those double dies. Mostly it's just extra thickness on the date. There was one that shows minor notching, but very, very minor. I almost feel like I should be going through these tonight, looking at the quality and whether they are gradable or not, because I'm probably going to start doing some bulk submissions here. The Lincoln cent population of graded coins on eBay is just decimated, and I'm not able to buy enough for my needs, which is pretty awesome, because that means we can start going through a bunch of coins here and getting some graded. But I think possibly this weekend we might start doing that instead of just going through these, or perhaps I'll get some of the better ones together and just you guys can weigh in and say what you guys think, whether I'm making a major mistake sending in these coins, and if so, what you guys think kind of the outcome will be. Like this one here, and you know, it looks pretty darn decent. Most of the scratches and stuff, I feel like I see a little chatter up under God there. But most of the scratches or lines you see are on the mint cellos. These have been, you know, cut out of their original sets, and it looks like they've been stuck together a bit, and so the mint cellos just start to get a little wear. This one I wouldn't send in because there is definitely a little bit of odd coloring. We've got some spotting on the reverse. And so pretty much my goal hopefully would be to send in 67s. If I get some 66s, that is not a problem. I can even deal with 65s in my store. My guess is this one here would be about a 66. It's a couple little marks in the bottom field there. But I would definitely be shooting for 67s. This one looks like it has a couple pixels out. And I feel like this one has just like too many pixels out on it, just like little tiny spots. I feel like on a 67 you could get away with like maybe 2 of them. So how's everybody doing? Hopefully you guys are having a good week. I got stimulus check, which I'm pretty excited about. I bought a bunch of early proofs with the money, and could be a silly investment. But the business strike Lincolns are just getting wiped out, and while proofs definitely have not been hot, I'm definitely starting to see a lot more interest in my store. I'm selling a lot more proofs than I used to, and so I think that with business strikes just getting bought up, people are kind of moving to the next thing that is available. And in my mind, that is proofs as far as Lincolns go. Maybe they'll go back to Indian head cents, but they seem like they've been pretty much bought up here for a while now. And maybe we'll get some movements in like quarters and half dollars. I know that there is some. I look at the sold. I just don't get, I'm getting 9 out of 10 of my sales are Lincoln cents. Pretty nice obverse, except for that thing going on behind Lincoln's head. Pretty nice looking coin, but I think that I'll probably have enough in here that if I chose to do 1987s to do a bulk submission, my plan I think will be to send in 100 coins, because with a bulk submission you can only send in 5 different dates or mints, and so I would probably send in 20 of 5 different groups. Perhaps if there was one group that I really thought was going to do well, I might send in more than 20 of one and less of another. But 1987s, I believe, I'd have to check, I believe I have quite a nice stock of these already graded. I think it's one of the few that I have quite a bit of MS67s. Nice obverse on this one. Little line in the top left field. Little mark above the end. No, that has a shadow. A little spot below the C. Not too bad though. A few of these are kind of smoky. I'm not sure what happened to the mint cellos, but I think that some of them got a little bit of environment. I think any discoloration here you guys are seeing is just on the cello. But once a cello is like that, I don't think they take care of the coin nearly as well. I have to check under my keyboard. This pile is like shifting around. Quite a bit of kind of little dots on this one. And so my guess is I'll probably be sending in a bunch of early proofs. I think I might start with my proof wheat cents, send in like 2056, 2057, 2058, maybe some 59s and 60s. We went through thousands of 1960s, so I definitely have some nice 1960s to send in, but I already have a bunch of those graded. I have a bunch of Lincoln wheat cents graded as well, but I feel like if I was to try to buy something to resell quicker, I feel like the wheat cents would sell faster. Definitely some coins here with the problems, with some pretty big spots, or kind of like already having like some brownish to them. But one thing I'm also going to look at is trying to buy a bunch of proof sets. I hear the market's going pretty crazy over them, so I'll have to check prices, see how things are going. Nice obverse on this one. A little bit of discoloration behind Lincoln's head. Otherwise, really nice smooth fields. And I'm not sure, a couple little marks underneath. 3 I would say is too many with the discoloration. My plan is to be as picky as possible, but at the same time, I also kind of want to send in a couple coins just to be tested. Just kind of see, okay, what happens if, you know, there's a little tiny spot on Lincoln's shoulder like that, but that's the only thing wrong with it. Because I get a lot of coins that are graded that will have like a spot on a higher device but not in the field, and I don't know if the graders just miss it or if it develops after. I'm not 100% sure. See spot on the shadow under the R, so that's not anything there. Pretty nice obverse. I believe that is a spot. No, the spot. I believe that'll come right off. There we go. How about that one? Maybe a little spot in that field there. Otherwise, a pretty nice coin. And so I don't know if things start off like that and then they just get bigger. Spots have a whole life of their own. So any of you guys watching get a stimulus check, plan on investing in coins, or what are you guys planning on investing in? I mean, I'm definitely spending a bunch of it on bills myself. Particularly my eBay bill. My eBay bill got huge this month. They keep saying, we're going to take care of all your payments and you'll never see a big bill again. We're going to take it out of your sales, but they never do. It's like the third month of them saying that, and I keep ending up with big bills. Quite a few spots. This is my first time looking at these, so they all looked nice and shiny in the bag. And I saw some discoloration on the Cellos, but you never know until you look through them. And so I don't know if I'm going to do it on stream, but I will probably kind of try to pick through things before I do a video of what I'm going to send in. I almost kind of feel like maybe pre-selecting everything I'm going to send in and then go through the stream and you guys can like vote yay or nay, and then we can kind of take a guess of what we think grades will be, and then we can send them in and then it can have a reveal and we can all cry together. I've not heard good news about any of the grading, and everyone's getting back horrible grades. And this one looks pretty nice. Little tiny spot to the west of the memorial. But it also sounds like it's taking like 2 to 4 months for stuff to come back. That just seems like a really long time to invest $1,000. It's like with the mail, you know, pre-COVID, you could buy a coin graded on eBay for a deal and then get it 3-4 days and then put it up for sale, sell it, and have the deal done, have it delivered within another 3-4 days, and you know, basically just repeat. Another pretty nice coin, possibly another little dot out above the N. It's like most of these seem relatively mark-free. The thing kind of going against them is quite a few of them seem to have just little tiny spots on them. And I don't know if this is just because they're in mint cellos. I kind of feel like getting some rolls just to see if like the mint cellos just are way better quality. That's been my impression. I used to go through rolls and it just seemed like everything was spotted and marked up, just like by the time it's getting rolled up it just gets all these different things. And these, you know, sometimes I'll even get like a fingerprint from the person working at the mint. But whenever I get lots of really high grade ones in with like luster like this, where it's just, you know, actually, yeah, that's actually, or no, never mind. This is 1987. For a second I was thinking it was 1978. But like the zinc plating on these, it's just really interesting. Like you'll see everything's all bumpy and looks all messed up, but because there's no marks in the bumps, or maybe it's harder for them to see the bumps or the marks in the bumps, and so it doesn't get knocked down a grade. But I would say at least half of my 1980s in MS67 or better by PCGS, that's kind of how the luster looks. It's just really rough and bumpy. And to me, I would think the ones that have nice and smooth fields, that would get a higher grade, but I see less of them. Maybe the smooth ones get bought up and more choosy collectors don't pick the ones with kind of a rough luster. So it looks like, so far anyway, at least like 50% of these look like they are like MS65 or better. I'd say maybe like 10% of them are MS66. And I'd say we've probably seen a few 67s. But also, it's like, what do I do with all the ones that don't meet the grade? Do I just put them in a big box and sell them off, kind of like the way I bought this one? And then in my head, are these all the ones that didn't make someone else's grade? They were all looking for 67, 68, and anything that felt kind of iffy, they just sold off in bulk. Two little marks on the coin. Maybe there's a mark on his shoulder too. I can't tell if that's the Cello. Yeah, it looks like it's on the coin, on his shoulder. I feel like YouTube has been quieter the last few weeks. I don't know if everybody just got back to work and stopped streaming, or if YouTube unsubscribed me from all the people that I watch channels of. I feel like Copper Coins is like the only, like Chuck is like the only stream that I've actually been getting notifications from, and that comes up in my YouTube search results. I think I've seen some Blue Ridge Silverhounds, and I think some Treasure Town. It's just interesting to me. Like, I feel like there was 50 people streaming every night, and I want to assume they still are, just for whatever reason they're not coming up in my feed. It's like last night I actually had like spare time for once, and I was like looking for some videos while I was doing some work, and I couldn't find anybody streaming to just like listen to or watch. I was just doing some pretty tedious link, copy paste link, copy paste link, copy paste link, because I do the eBay partner program, and they're requiring everyone to update their links or they won't get paid for any clicks on them. And so that basically entails me like going and like changing links on like 8,000, you know, just my YouTube. I have 7,600 videos, so I have to like go into every video and change it all, which has just turned out to be a ton of work and really not worth the time. But I don't want a bunch of dead links on my pages, and then it's like I have all the other social medias, and it proved to be too time consuming to go back. I don't have nearly as much viewership there as I do here, and so I've just kind of been like, okay, you guys want dead links with your name next to them? Sure, go for it. But somebody was saying on one of the forums that I was doing that you can, I can't remember, but basically you can, not a redirect, but basically like you can have all like one link on all the different things, and then you can basically have like just like a web form that you can just change it and it'll change the links everywhere. It seemed like a much smarter way to do it than the way that I did it, but I wasn't planning on necessarily having as many things as I do have now. I've definitely been gung-ho. It definitely looks like I'm gonna get to 10,000 videos for you guys this year. I was able to make 5,000 for you last year, and it's I guess we're not even a quarter of the way through the year, and I've already made like 2,600, 2,700 for you guys. So definitely, I don't know, maybe I'll make 10,000 for you guys this year. Definitely, if business keeps going the way it has been, my business grew, it doubled this past month, and sales don't seem to be slowing down with stimulus checks and stuff coming out. I imagine it's just going to get busier. But surprisingly, eBay has been quieter the last few days. Like, when everyone was talking about stimulus checks coming out, like, things were crazy, and then as soon as they do, maybe just not everybody's gotten theirs yet. I got lucky. Not really sure. I think everyone else I knew that was doing direct deposit, they've gotten theirs. I imagine people that are, you know, getting a check in the mail, they're going to have to wait quite a bit longer. Little tiny pixels out. And so I guess like when I think of like sending stuff into PCGS, the thing that kills me is like thinking of waiting 2 to 4 months to get my package back. And granted, things might change, they may speed up, it might just be growing pains because the PCGS or Collectors Universe got purchased, and I believe the company and the individual who bought it specialize in like scaling up a business, so it seems like maybe they're having growing pains and things will get more efficient. But at the same time, if I always have, you know, I might be behind $1,000 of, you know, money I could invest. But if I continually have a package in the mail, you know, just keep sending them in, then I will just keep getting packages and I'll be a month behind. But if I always keep sending one in, it's just, you know, kind of terrifying with, you know, the videos of that I'm seeing of people's coins, everything just coming back pretty much the lowest grade possible, lots of cleaned, lots of genuines. Like that just seems like a nightmare. That's definitely one of the reasons that I'd want to send in a lot of coins from mint sets, is that if they're sealed up, I know they haven't been cleaned, where like the probability of them being cleaned and resealed is pretty minute. But yeah, it's pretty much been a year since I've been talking about doing bulk submissions. Then last year, about a month ago, they closed, and so I was like, okay, well, I was just about to send stuff in, but I guess I'm not. And then a couple months ago I was the same way, and then they were like, we're no longer receiving or sending packages. And so I was like, okay, but now it looks like they are, just things are super slow, they're backlogged. And so I'm ready. I have a ton of coins to send in. Pretty nice obverse on this one. I feel like a couple little pixels are out when you look at it on the right angle, but really nice smooth fields. A better strike. I don't know, I'm definitely noticing on the bottom step of the memorial, either right in the center or right here, it'll just kind of be like weak, or like the bottom step will have a chunk taken out of it. And I don't know if that, you know, I feel like that wouldn't get it a great strike. This one's a lot better. That one looked like it had a shot. This one's got some spots. So I think we got about 10 more, then I'll take them all back out of the box and we can zoom in and we can see if we can find anything. But judging by the time here, I'm guessing this roll, I haven't been counting them, but I'm guessing we've probably got about 70 coins here. So it should take a little while to go through everything. I feel like mostly tonight I've been like just trying to look at the condition while talking. Sometimes I'm looking for other things as well. I'm also curious, I feel like some of the ones that aren't quite as nice, I might cut out of the mint sets just to like kind of, you know, one that looks like it's really nice in the cello, but it has like a big black spot, so I won't be sending it in. Cut a few open just to see what they look like out, just make sure that these cellos aren't hiding, which I really don't think, like some of the older mint cellos where there's just like marks all over the cello, I could see how that could hide something and you could just miss a little mark. But especially these newer ones, eek. That one's not going. This might be like the perfect example of one to hold on. Let me fix this too. Getting all fuzzy on you guys. Hey, Les Likes Coins. Welcome. How are you? Nice to see you. How's it on the other side of the world? Do you have the day off, or are you on your way to work tonight? This morning? It's always fun getting to talk to someone in the future. I believe that's just on a cello. Okay, we got one more, and then I can attempt to get all these out of the box. I feel like there's at least 10 coins in there that might have a shot. Many, yeah, there's definitely. It wouldn't take like 3 minutes to count them all. I'd count them just because I'm curious to see how many there are. Alright, let me turn on the lights. I can zoom in. Get comfy. And so, from what I saw, there is just, for the most part, there's extra thickness in some of the dates here, which I sometimes have a hard time seeing the extra thickness. But some of them are supposed to have, or one of them at least looked like it had split serifs. 1987 doesn't look like the best year to be searching for double dies and different varieties. There wasn't a ton of good stuff. It looked like there was a Lincoln with extra feet, but it's like, you know, zoomed in like this far, I feel like I can never see, like, when he has, like, unless there's like a bar on the side of the column, I feel like the chances of us finding something there is not good. Going to work in a half hour? Well, happy to have you here for a half an hour. How's life been going? How are you? That one almost looks like it might have some extra thickness. I don't know if it's machine damage, but we can take a closer look. It doesn't really look like scooping. Let's turn it on its side. But it doesn't really look extra thick. Take a look at the rest, see if there's any notching or anything. I feel like whenever there's like something to look for on the corner of the arm of the R there's always a scratch in the cello going right above the area I want to look. It's like almost guaranteed. That's life for you. So we can kind of like, I know I didn't see any, I saw one, there was like die markers where there's like kind of raised areas on the columns, but I always like to look. You're sick of the lockdown now? Yeah, it's been rough over there for you guys. I've been fortunate in the fact that I usually don't leave the house too much as it is, and so it's been much more of the norm. I know this last week definitely people I know that are like kind of like close in my circle have been you know, notified and are quarantined that people that they know have been exposed, so that kind of worries me. and definitely know people that have gotten it. So my recommendation is do stay safe. Nobody in my direct circle has died, but I know people in my direct circle have had quite a few people that they know that they care about die, and so my recommendations is this is rough, but it's better than dying. But yeah, I'm kind of ready. My internet went out a couple times this week, and it was just kind of like, wow, the lockdown's a whole lot harsher without internet. I have plenty to do, especially since I'm always working these days. I have a bunch to catch up on when the internet does go out. But it's amazing how so many of my habits and stuff now revolve around things with internet. So get a little bit better focus there. I mean, hopefully it seems like people are slowly getting vaccinated. I think here in the US, maybe it was something like 1 in 5 Americans have gotten at least their first dose. And so, that's a start. And then we'll just need to see how these new variants and stuff play into things, and how well the vaccine works in the long run. It's like I hear some people say, or I see some things saying that you should be protected for life, but then if other variants come along, it's unknown. And then I hear some people say, oh, it'll probably only last like 9 months, and then you need a booster. None of this is known to me as fact, so I'm not trying to give out, information on the subject. Just what I hear. It just, I don't know, like on the news and stuff, there's so much. It's like, how do you separate everything? Like, I thought that if you, were exposed to someone or something like that, I thought you quarantined for 10 days. The person that I know, they basically told if you get a negative test, you can go back to work this Friday. And so that was kind of news to me. I thought that they were going to be locked down for 10 days. So it's just kind of interesting to me. It's like you hear one thing and then the way it's actually being handled is completely different. Yeah, I guess we have plenty of time to make a list of all the things we want to do once we're able to go out and do them all. But I used to work just like, retail customer service, over-glorified grocery store worker. I'm definitely glad not to just be out doing that all the time these days. I have a lot of respect for the people that go out there and go to work every day. It can't be easy. It's definitely a good reason to work hard and save your money or invest in yourself, so that when situations come up like this, that it's like so many lives interrupted. I couldn't imagine like going to school and having a life plan, and then all of a sudden your college or your university where you've planned on going to school and jumping into a career, all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, we're having all online classes, and everything you're going to learn at this $50,000 a year school is you could just do it by sitting at home on Google yourself. I believe it's just machine damage. and the way the light is hitting things. I think it's definitely the way the light is hitting it, and maybe it's a little bit scooped out. That's like also one thing that came across my mind. It's like, okay, I'm gonna send in a bunch of coins, and but do I search them all as well for varieties again? Because I feel like over the last year and a half since I started doing this, I've gotten a lot better at spotting different varieties. But I feel like if I went back through the original rolls that I did, I would find a bunch of varieties that I didn't even pick up on. And it's like, do I do that, or do I send them in, then search them again? And if the grade is good enough on the coins, then I send them in to get attributed. Because I don't think you can get coins attributed with like a bulk submission, and so it'd more be just sending them in to like find out what the grade's gonna be. Hey Logan's Coins, welcome. You're starting to have some free time again? That is good to hear. You're always welcome here. Yeah, at least you're getting out of the house. There's the bright side. How is it? Like, I mean, it's like, I honestly feel like I'm in a bubble here for the most part. It's like I tried to keep a tight bubble, but just people in my life, you know, you can only have kind of control over your own actions. And people within my circle, you know, they have to go out, and so a circle of protection is only as good as those in the circle and the choices that they make. But it's like I almost feel disconnected from reality because I haven't been out there. You know, it's like I probably know more about what's going on in the pandemic from watching the news and being online than I actually know from going out. It's like I go to the post office and I go to the grocery store, and that's pretty much what I've done for a year. Looked at coins, food, and post office. What a life, huh? But I'm really glad that I took a leap and really put all my energy and time. Like, you know, I did 9 to 5 working in an over glorified grocery store for pretty much 10 years to the day before I just decided to go all in with my eBay store. And you know, the first 3, 4, 5 years was pretty much just losing money. And I mean, I lost money before that, but then you know, it took making enough mistakes over and over and over again to finally get the business tuned in enough where I was actually making a profit, and then looking at what I was doing right and just repeating that over and over and over again. But I'd definitely say, like, somebody, if they knew what they were doing from the start, like probably for about $10,000 of investment, if you were buying the right coins at the right price and selling them for the right price, you'd be able to buy and sell enough to pay the bills. I mean, this is all I do for a living. And I mean, here on the stream, this is me doing this for fun. This is my idea of relaxing after working with coins all day. This is me playing with coins. And at some point here, it'll be kind of like a job. If we're going through stuff, just looking for the higher quality stuff to send in, you know, that's part of the coin business. If you get stuff graded, you have to spend the time to look through it and send in the right coins. because sending in the wrong coins will hurt your profit margin. And in the beginning, I'm not really so worried. Like, I want to make some mistakes sending in coins to get graded. I know that sounds dumb, but it's like I really want to learn, what the grader sees when they see a particular defect in the coin. I'm able to sell 65, 66s, so it's like I definitely want to get at least 65 if I send in, a memorial cent. Most people would not even want to get a 66, I'm imagining. But the way that my store is set up, I definitely can, eat quite a few 65s and 66s. I'm not worried about it. Hey Bigfoot Silver Hide and Seeker, welcome. I feel blessed. Definitely been some hard times in my life. Definitely did the delayed gratification thing for 10 years. When I worked in a grocery store, we'll just call it a grocery store, I lived off the free bin and put 75% of my paycheck in my 401k, and just didn't spend money. All my friends would go out and buy a 6-pack of beer and party, and that's fun, but I didn't want to work in a grocery store the rest of my life, so I saved all my money and was able to take out money from the 401k and put a down payment on a house, and because I didn't want to rent a house for the rest of my life and give away all the money, just tried to make, I basically practiced delayed gratification for 10 years, and then the last 5 years after that I've been living as cheaply as I can, and I feel like right now is the first time I feel like I could buy a large cheese pizza and have it delivered, and not just be killing myself over it. But it's like I feel like I'm trying to learn how to live a little bit within my means, because what's the point of it all if you're not living and you're not enjoying things? You're basically dead. So it's like finding somewhere in between everything, I feel like is the key. And granted, instead of working in a grocery store, I probably could have gotten a job that paid a lot more. And that probably would have been a smarter decision. It's like for you young folks, work hard in school. Go to school, pay attention in school, do your best in school. Friends will be there. As long as you want friends, there will be friends there. As long as you want to have a good time, there will be good times to be had. Life goes by really quickly. And, pay attention in school, work hard, do the best you can, and aim high. Because if you aim high and do a good job, chances of you getting a good job and being able to get ahead in life, it's like you can, I don't know, it's I feel like I went to college for 10 years, maybe even longer. I started going when I was 16, and I learned a lot. I took every class that I wanted, did a little bit of everything, kept changing my degree. I guess I feel like there was a joke at the school, the first college I went to, that it's some of the people were lifers. But if I had just had a full plan, I feel like I could have learned all the other things that I wanted to learn later in life, but I could have had, a solid degree underneath me and, advance a lot quicker, instead of going to school full-time and working 2 full-time jobs at the same time just to keep ends meet. I don't even think they have a supersized pizza here. That sounds delicious. One of my full-time jobs was, I worked in about 5 pizza places, but one of them, the pizzas that I made, they were the size of a kitchen table, and the party pizzas were even bigger. beautiful, beautiful pizza. It's like basically you could buy one party pizza and it would feed an entire party. Like, no, you get two slices, like as much as anyone could eat. Now I want pizza. The O underneath looks interesting, like everything else is covered up. I think it's, might as well zoom in. I think it's just machine damage on it. I feel like it's just on the tops. No notches. I feel like everything is skinnier instead of thicker. Excuse me. Almost looked like there was a notch on the corner of the 7. It's probably a scratch. I miss working in a pizza place, being able to make your own pizza, put all the toppings you want. You know, it's like you order a pizza and have someone else make it. They make it the way they want it. But when you've made like 100,000 pizzas before, you know exactly how you like it. I think my favorite thing to make when I worked in a pizza place is kind of like, I feel like a cheese croissant is the closest thing I can like call it. But it's like you take like a small pizza dough, you flatten it out to like, you know, like a pizza shape, and then you take a handful of cheese and you put it in, and then you roll you fold the dough up over it so it's kind of like a calzone but like a ball, and then you roll it flat again into a pizza dough shape, and then you take another handful of cheese and you wrap it back up into a ball, like hiding all the cheese, and you just do this like 6-7 times. And basically, like once the cheese just starts breaking through the thin layers of crust, you know you're good. And then in the last time you do it, you like put some like peppers and onions and mushrooms and whatever you want to kind of like give it flavor, and then you wrap it back up into a ball and you put it in the oven. And ordinarily something that thick, you know, it would be doughy in the center, but because it's just tons and tons of layer of cheese and dough all separated in thin layers, the grease of the cheese just cooks everything perfectly. And it basically, that's why like a croissant I feel like is like the closest thing I can think of for it. But it's so good. It's like a Hot Pocket, but it's like all like greasy and flaky. It's like the golden cheese crisp at the edge of a, you know, when the cheese goes on the crust. It's like, that's what it tastes like. And it almost crunches, but then it's like also like got the consistency of a crust. It's just super delicious. I could eat like 10 of them right now. Yeah, the one thing I liked about working in pizza places and restaurants is you were never hungry. All the people I worked for, except for one, they would feed you like they were your family. You never went hungry working. There was one boss I had that just liked to shake his knife and scream, and I definitely I changed pizza places. I started working at the pizza place down the block after that. You know, it's like someone shaking a knife at you and saying, next time, next time what? No thanks. Don't want to be there for that. My advice, if you ever have a boss like that, change jobs. If you have anyone in your life that's like that, it doesn't need to be like that. You don't gotta stay in a situation like that. I've definitely been in plenty of toxic workplaces, and then it's like you work in a place where everybody is like friendly and like has good intentions, and it's like night and day. You're like, how did I work at that other place? This is crazy. But I have to say, other than not having as much of a social life, I definitely far prefer working for myself, because I work myself hard, but I try to treat myself good, and I don't ever have to. Every job I had, even the best jobs, there was always kind of that one coworker who would just, make drama, make things harder for everyone else. When you work for yourself, like you don't have that unless you're the one causing drama. It's like you're free. Yeah, definitely whatever job you do, make sure it's something you love. That's definitely one of the ways I know that this is, a good fit for me, is that I always loved to do this. I kept trying to do it, but my work and my school kept getting in the way. And I kind of wish, in some ways, I love my life. I'm happy with my life, wouldn't want to change it. If I had to change it, I think I would have just jumped right into coins and skipped everything else, and I think I'd be retired by now. But at the same time, I love all the other choices I made, and so not too worried. But definitely love the job. It's like before I was on eBay. I had an eBay business, but I watched some YouTube videos or Twitch videos of Mr. Beast, and he was giving $10,000 to gamers. Just randomly like donating $10,000 to them in the middle of their stream. I was like, I love playing video games. I could do that. And so I did that for 2 years, thinking, okay, well, you just keep doing it. And, I did my eBay, and I was trying to build passive income on the side, playing video games, and it never panned out for me. But it was like I scheduled myself, because I thought, okay, well, you just have to stream all the time, and you just have to be constantly available, and eventually you'll grow and become bigger. And maybe it happens for some people. It didn't happen for me. Most of my cellos that I get, I would buy them in a roll. Like say on eBay, search terms that I would use is Cello, CELLO 50, Cello roll. There's a couple cellos up. Most of them up are mine. However, I think I'm probably going to take them all down. I kind of put them up to make them available for people if they wanted them, but since I'm going to start doing grading, I'm probably going to take most of my cellos down because I'm going to tear into them. But yeah, I will search for, the Cello 50 Cello roll in the US coin category. And for older stuff, I would pay usually like between like $20 and $35. By the time something is like 1960, 1959, I'd probably pay like between like $75 and $100. But I can't find them often. There's one really kind of good deal. I'm thinking about buying them all. There's one seller on eBay right now who has lots of, I believe, 1959 and 1960. And the $50 is cut out of them, but they're selling the rest of the set. still in the Cello just with the $half cut off for like $10 a set. And so a set costs like, air pressure change, a set costs like 30-40 bucks. And so without the $half in the set, they're basically charging a third to a quarter of the price, which I would definitely be paying more than I normally pay for a penny. But at the same time, you're getting a silver quarter and a silver dime. So I think he has like lots of those for like 10 for $109, 20 for $209. You know, basically $10 or $11 for every 10 sets. And so then if you look at how much the silver's worth, I think like a silver quarter right now is like maybe like $4.80, and a dime is like $1.80 or something. And so just the quarter and the dime in their silver melt weight, you know, pay for 2/3 of it. And so then like the penny and the nickel, you know, basically make up the difference. But then if you get any nice coins in it, they could pay for the whole thing. I haven't bought any from them yet, so I haven't seen the quality of them in person. For all I know, that they're all the sets that they want nothing to do with. And that's really when you buy like a bulk thing, like say these coins that we're going through tonight, they came from a box of, it was the largest thing of mint Cellos I'd ever seen on eBay. It was an auction. And I think it was 3,800 mint Cellos. It was like a full flat rate box. And it was the cheapest I've ever paid, the most I've ever gotten, but at the same time I feel like I found almost nothing. I feel like it was rare that I didn't find a really nice coin, or like a double die or something. In like about 50 coins I would find something interesting. And with this box I feel like it's like 1 out of every five rolls am I finding something that I find interesting. There's a couple rolls with a bunch of tone coins. There have been rolls, the majority of the rolls had decent looking coins in them as far as if I was going to get them graded. But as far as cherry picking, I feel like this wasn't, I feel like whoever I bought this from was a cherry picker. They went through them all, pulled out any variety that they wanted or could find, and then sold off everything. That is my general impression, is that these have been gone through. However, I would say most you know, mint sets and stuff that you go through online or that you see online have been gone through. Not everyone is looking for the same thing. Some people are looking for quality coins to get graded. Some are looking for the specific rarest rare. Some people are offloading all their junk. I've never returned a roll of them, but I've definitely got some awful rolls before. And it feels like most of the people that were selling mint Cellos, they're gone. I don't know what happened to them in the last 6 months. For me, I was, you know, just trying to see what was out there, kind of sample a bunch of sellers. And so I basically bought from everybody just to see what they had, and I figured, you know, you buy something on eBay and it gets replenished. You know, you buy one, 3 more pop up. People are like, hey, we got a buyer. Give him something, give him some more, give him some more. How much will he eat? And that just hasn't happened with mint Cellos. There's like a few dates that keep coming up, but not many. Hey, have a good night. Have a good day at work. Les Likes Coins. Thanks for stopping by. I hope to see you again in the future. Stay well, be well. You'll make it through this lockdown. And so, I don't know, usually I try to pay about, I mean, like ideally I'd be paying like a quarter a mint Cello, but like I oftentimes will be paying like 30, 40, 45 cents If it's a date that I find really interesting and I think I might find something in, I might pay, more. If it's like a date with like really nice double dies in it, I'd probably pay more for the cellos. But at the same time, people are buying. It seems like proof and mint sets are really hot right now. It seems like all coins are hot right now, just everything is hot. But I feel like proof coins and sets are something that people just didn't care about. They're just like, yeah, the mint made 1 million of them. They're not rare. Yeah, there's definitely quite a few people that come on the stream that do just that, Bigfoot. They just, go into local coin stores and look through the inventory, find a nice variety, purchase the set, and send it in to get graded, and make bank. I feel like probably developing a good friendship with the person. They'll let you see more. If they know what you're looking for, they'll let you know when it comes in. Um, there are deals to be found on eBay for sure. Um, it's just it's hit or miss. I mean, I found some really cool double dies in some of the rolls that I've bought. It definitely seems like there was one eBayer that was selling just all those proof rolls that I was getting, and they were selling quite a few of them every week, and I believe they were cutting up mint sets and basically just selling everything off, because I was finding a lot of double dies, I was finding a lot of varieties in them, and now it seems like I don't know if it was because of the stream or just other people buying them, but they're barely selling any at all now, and the prices are going higher and higher. They're basically going so high that it's almost as much as I'm selling them for as a buy it now. And so maybe my coins, the way they were priced as a buy it now, influenced the prices, but I think other people were finding good stuff too, and that's why the price went up. But I hear the same thing is happening with like rolls, like bank wrapped rolls. They're getting harder to find. The prices are getting higher and higher. From what it seems like, it's just every aspect of the coin industry. Kind of like what happened with sports cards, how all of a sudden all this stuff that no one really wanted to touch, all of a sudden people just started buying up huge quantities of it and getting a big position on it. And then all of a sudden everyone's like, hey, wait a second, what's going on? Hey, I better get some of these before, and it's just like a chain effect. But it seems like pretty much all collectibles, there's just like all these like separate bubbles forming in collectibles these days. People are just tired of the stock market, tired of traditional investments, and they see people making money doing this or that, and they're like, okay, I see how this is done, and they jump in. The future of it all is totally uncertain. I don't want to tell anyone to jump in. I myself, I'm jumping in. It's basically like, this is my job, and it's like I don't want to buy in too much at the prices that are going. Like basically I'm starting to buy stuff for as much as I was selling them for a few months ago. And so while I feel like I'm able to continue to resell that, I'm going to continue to buy even if I'm buying above what I was selling it for. However, I'm not going to buy in so heavy that if all of a sudden the prices tank on everything, that I'm going to be ended up like with a bunch of stock that's just too high priced. But I'll keep my store stocked and make sure to keep opportunity open in the future. Lately, what I've been purchasing is, if you've been watching here for a while, which I know you've been watching for a long time, I've been buying old proofs. I've been buying 30s and 40s. That's where I've been. You know, you can check my feedback on eBay. PCGS graded proof 1936 to 1942. That's what I've been buying because the business strikes, they're going for above price. And granted, most of the early proofs are getting higher and higher right now too. But I kind of see it as a last chance to purchase these coins. Because like the 1936, it has a mintage of 3,000. That's all the proof sets that were made for 1936 proofs. So 3,000 people can own that coin. 3,000 people can complete a proof set. And so like for 1937, a mintage of like 5,400. Or 1938, it's like 8,000. 39, it's like 10,000. So it's like, that's what I'm doing. I think the cheapest proof 1936, 1942 right now on eBay graded by PCGS, I think it's like 80 bucks. And it's like $20 over PCGS value. And so it's definitely, you know, I am speculating that the price on these coins is going to go up in the future. However, I'm basically paying above PCGS price. However, I purchased maybe 20 of them in the last week. I bought a bunch of 64s and 65s, proof 64, 65. And then as soon as I bought them, I saw the PCGS price on a bunch of those coins like jump. And so I don't know if it was my particular buying activity that was doing it, or if there were other auctions where they were going for high prices, or what spurred their choice of things going up. Welcome DC Piano. These are not proof. These are business strikes. I was just talking about what I'm currently buying. I mean, I'm buying pretty much everything, but there's also, the auctions have been hot. For the last 6 months, you could get stuff, you know, if you paid attention to auctions, you could get stuff for 30, 40, 50% value multiple times a day. Lately, like, I'll only win like a few items. Like there was more stuff that I could bid on for 30, 40, 50% value than I could afford to buy every day. That's how much abundance there was. There's still abundance out there, but business strike Lincolns are going for full price or more. Like from like MS66, like pretty much most anything cheap MS66 has been bought up on eBay. MS67, they've almost all been bought out. 67 or 68, they're pretty much gone. 69's gone. People have just bought out all the business strikes all the way through 2020. You know, it's like I have particular customers, people that buy from my store that just every day they're buying the same thing. Buying multiple quantities, they're just buying everything. You need a 1922 1 cent? I think I have a few low grade ones of those. I think I have one week D. I sold a week D yesterday. I think it was my last graded one. I think the last one that I have is PCGS Genuine. But yeah, 1922 is pretty good. They definitely are always in demand. Definitely not a bad buy. No, I think that ended today. There was like a pretty nice looking one, like a AU55. Getting them in high grade is not easy. Like getting a mint state one is definitely not easy. Yeah, definitely getting a top pop coin would get you excited. I mean, that's the thing that's interesting to me is like people that I watch on YouTube and talk to who continually, regularly get things graded for like, you know, over a decade, who know what they're doing, who are refined in their business, who know what a coin is. They're sending stuff into the graders and it's coming back with like crazy low grades on everything. That like Cameo, apparently they don't do Cameo anymore. Like both NGC and PCGS, like people are just beyond frustrated. They're like, I know what I'm doing. And so I don't know what's going on at the graders, or if as we get older our eyes get worse, if we get too self-assured or assured of ourselves. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, 1922, like the coins are just awful. 1922 is the only year where only the Denver Mint produced a penny. And so basically all the pennies that year, so they just overused the dies. They just worked the dies to death. And I feel like they didn't even have very good dies that year. Basically the like reverse on almost everything is just flat. I feel like they grade on a curve for 1922 because the quality is so bad that year. Yeah, I'd like to go somewhere where they have slabs in a bargain bin. I mean, that's always been one of the reasons I wanted to go to a coin show, is because I can sell like any graded coin. Like if it's like good for, if it's genuine, you know, you put it at the right price as a buy it now on eBay and it will sell. And I could just imagine going into a coin show and having just a bin of like $5, like, you know, this has been sitting in my store for a decade, you know, $5, and just, can I buy the whole bin? I will take all your problem coins away. You won't have to take this to the next show. And it's like you just take some time, list everything individually, put it up for sale. And you know, some of the coins, I got a large set this last weekend that was just all different grades. They were all wheat cents. They were all MS60 or better, but there were, I think, 62s and 63s and 64s. There were browns, red browns. You know, I was like, some of these coins I'm going to have forever. Every single brown coin sold that weekend. Before, you know, I usually have some sort of sale or promotion going on in my store. Every brown sold before the sale price even, like basically I listed them, they sold. And then I was just like, what's going on? Like, these are like 64 browns. It's not even like it's a top pop. And they bought them all. And then I got a message today saying, hey, are you getting any more MS Browns? I'm like, I've got 12 in my store, that's it. Out of 4,000 coins, like, but I guess you can build a toned PCGS or like a non-red set. Maybe it's becoming more of a thing. I know there's an Everyman set where the highest grade you can get is an AU58. But it's interesting, like, so it's like one person's problem coin, you know, if you're trying to get a top pop set, you don't want an MS64 brown, but if you're trying to build a set of all brown coins, all of a sudden, so it's like connecting, you know, casting a wide net to every single possible, just getting the coin out there, because there's a collector who will collect what you're selling. You know, somebody liked that coin enough to get it slabbed, and they saw something in that coin to get it slabbed. And I guess the other thing too is I've noticed from getting like just lowball coins over the years, it's like those are ones I particularly like. Most of the coins I get in, the graded ones, I don't check them for varieties. I should. People keep telling me that they found something awesome. I'm like, awesome. But it's like the lowball ones, I'm like, why did somebody get this graded? And like oftentimes I'll look just to see if I'm missing something. Like, okay, did they get it graded but not ask for it to be attributed, and then forgot that this was like a special coin? You just never know. And so it's definitely in the Indian head sense. Like some of the older ones, I found different varieties and stuff on them. I was just like, why did they get this graded? And sometimes people just, they have their set or they inherit it, don't know what it's worth, and think that, to get top dollar, you send it to PCGS, and they end up getting back a bunch of genuine cleaned coins, or they clean it before they send it in. Parking lot coin collection. It's a collection of rare, genuine, cleaned air coins. The Etsy collection. Rare, the Etsy collection on eBay, $10 billion. I could see it. Like, we've gathered the best air coins from Etsy, paid the highest price. Now we're gonna sell them to you at a bargain. It's like the way that the light shines. I so need to like get my light diffused better. It just always makes it look like there's like lines going down, but if we actually find something, I swear it looks way different. Like, we just gotta find something. It makes me want to pull out some of my errors so that I can show you guys that if there's an error on these, even with all the brightness, we'll be able to see it. Or I feel like I didn't have any trouble finding stuff before. Oh, this one's got a little bit. It's peeking out. Let's see what these spots look like when I put it back in. Yeah, I can still see them. I just noticed when I picked it up that it was starting to come out of the cello. Hey Mario, welcome. You're from the Philippines? Welcome. Hope you are having a good night. Yeah, Bigfoot, I definitely did find some cool snow varieties on the Indian head scents and the flying eagle scents. They definitely, I feel like a lot of people don't get them attributed. But yeah, I'd love to go to a coin show. I still have not been to like a major coin show. Like eBay, as far as I'm concerned, is my major coin show. By now I feel like my expectations would make it something that it's just not even, that I'd go there and be like, wait, there's like 100 tables of coins, that's it. It's like in my head, it's like the coin show would be like in like the Disney Aladdin movie where like he goes underground where he finds the lamp and it's just, endless seas of gold and treasure. That's what a coin show in my head has been built up to be. And since like I feel like specifically like 99% of what I buy is graded PCGS stuff, and that's what I buy and sell in my business, I feel like that would, if I didn't see tons and tons of PCGS graded stuff, that would be like why I went there, to like try to pick up 1,000 slabs and just buy a ton of slabbed coins so that I could just put it right up for sale. That would be the point of going to a coin show for me, other than to have fun and meet people and just see, seeing stuff in person is very different. Like, I imagine being able to fall in love with a coin is way, way easier in person. I've really enjoyed like checking out world coins. I just started buying world coins last month or so. Maybe it's been 2 months now. But it's just, I used to be all pennies, and then I started doing nickels, dimes, quarters, half dollars, commemoratives. And that was fun, but then it's like, wow, there's a whole world of coins out here, and there's so many cool ones, and some of the designs in other countries just blow blow away US coins. It's just like, why can't we have pretty money? You know, I love the Lincoln cent, but I feel like there's a lot of things we could put on coins that would just be beautiful. I don't know, like the Flying Eagle cent. I love the Flying Eagle cent because I just think an eagle looks beautiful on the coin. And no offense to Lincoln, but you know, it's like if we could have coins that didn't have like old rich white people, I'd be cool with that. I just feel like there's, you know, in Europe and stuff, like, or at least I feel like in England, I feel like their coins like celebrate like different like awesome things about their culture. I feel like a lot of other countries do that where they, you know, put the things that they're proud of. And I just feel like coins could be more interesting here. I feel like it's kind of tradition, and I love them. But I feel like if they were to radically change things, I'd be cool with that. Like I think one of the coins from the Philippines that I have, when we were going through the world coins that I had from when I was a kid, it's like I don't know if it's like some version of Liberty. I believe it's a woman, it could be a man, but there's like kind of a roped figure or like a draped figure with like an anvil, and just the scene is like really pretty. I think it's like maybe like a hammer up in the air striking a anvil, and it just looked cool. Like a lot of the coins, like when I first started to do the world coins, I tried to like, you know, find the oldest coins that I could find that had been already graded, so I'd know exactly what they were. And some of the old ones look really cool. And it's also fun just to see, like I have coins from I think the 1300s, 1400s, 1500s, 1600s now, and just to see how coins kind of have evolved and how the different strikes and stuff, it just gives me more of a sense of how it gives you like the full history of coins, and it kind of, you know, it makes you more appreciate like how well different countries have gotten. And then it's interesting how some countries, you know, hundreds of years after other countries had gotten it down, they're still just making these like gnarly looking things, you know, that like, so that's just fun to see. I mean, I feel like I've really enjoyed learning about all the colonial coins. Then it's like I tried to go like pre-colonial coins, and then it's just like it gives you, by like reading about and looking at the different coins of the world, it gives you kind of like a history of, it gives you like world history, just by learning about like what countries use the coins, why they use the coins, what, like just where the coins came from, what their purpose was. It really, you know, it lets you understand how the world kind of came to be the way it is. And so I've really enjoyed that. I feel like learning about coins has given me a better history lesson than all the history classes that I took in school. And it definitely connected the dots, and the fact that, you know, most coins have dates and stuff attached to them. You know, when you read about a date in a textbook, it's just you read 1,000 dates in a chapter and everything kind of starts to meld into itself. But for me, for some reason, when I'm seeing the date on the coin and that individual coin represents that point in time, the picture stays in my brain differently than it did from reading it in a book, or at least, you know, when I'm reading in a coin book. I'm trying to remember, the book I'm reading right now is I believe the Complete Encyclopedia of U.S. or colonial and U.S. coins. I think it's Breen is the author. I'd have to look. It's huge. I've been reading it for like maybe over a month now, and it's just like the page, like the book is huge and the pages are thick. It's thicker than a history book. But the pictures in it are awesome. The stories about every single coin, thoroughly enjoy it. I was really happy I picked up a copy of it when I found it, because it seems like the next time or every time I heard someone else recommending it, people are like, yeah, you can't buy that book anymore. So it's like I got lucky on it. And I enjoyed reading Chuck's book, The Copper Coins, who does Copper Coins here on YouTube, the Looking Through Lincoln Cents. And then I read Wexler's The Authoritative Reference on Lincoln Cents, and that was pretty good. I feel like I feel like if you want like the quick lesson of it, I feel like Chuck's book was a lot quicker read. It was more of like all the information all refined quickly, and there were some good stories in it. I feel like Wexler's was a little bit thicker, like there was more stories in it, more examples of things, but the book was also like 10 times the size. But I enjoyed both of them. And so probably when I get off here tonight, I'm going to go and check to see what 1930, 1940 proof I'm going to buy. I'm kind of thinking about like those, you know, short sets, the 1959, 1960 sets that person's selling in bulk. I feel like maybe I should try 10 of them, and if they're all awful looking, don't buy any more. But if they're decent looking, then maybe try buying 20 or 30 more of them. And I mean, that's kind of Bigfoot, you were asking, just, you know, like, how do I buy them? Just, you know, taking a risk, buying, sometimes I will, if I see something like that, someone with a quantity, I will buy everything, because I figure, okay, they're not going to send me their best. Some people would send the best and then hope that you bought more. But some people, most people, I feel like most collectors will send their worst and save the best for themselves. It's like if you had, 50 coins in a roll and someone bought 40, are you going to send the 40 best, or are you going to send, are you going to keep the few, like the work from selling off all the other ones? Yes, no, I'm not even sure if the pizza place is open this late. I'm so blessed that they actually opened a pizza place in my town right before the pandemic. That was one thing in my town that I'm living in now. I'm like, this place would be so much better with a pizza place. And it's far enough away that none of the other towns would deliver here. And they're just non-stop pizza making. Like, I almost wanted to, just open up a pizza place. I didn't care if I made any profit. I'm just like, I want to be able to have a pizza. I'll make it myself, but I pretty much got by because one of the companies around here one of the pizza places makes pizza dough and then sells it frozen. And I can handle the rest from there. Making big batches of pizza dough though at home, it's it's possible. I could probably do it, but it's just way easier to be able to go buy 5 pounds of dough and then have dough. Probably if I just took one of them and just kept using one as a starter, because I feel like you have to have the right culture. You have to stick a little bit of the old dough into the new dough just to get a nice, right, funky consistency. So I should have given you guys a bigger warning here, but this is the last coin. The last coin. And so I should be here this Saturday. I almost didn't stream tonight because a bunch of life events fell in my lap here. But I almost was gonna say I might be late tonight, but everything just worked out. So I'm not sure what we're going to be doing this next week, if we're just going to look through another roll of these. I did get some 1959 proofs in, which I was thinking about maybe doing here. I think it's like a roll of 75 of them. And I believe from the photos they look really good. I haven't even taken a close look at them. I think they're actually right here. And so 1959, 75 of them. Oh, there's a spider. No, that's dust. But like, they look nice. But for all I know, they put a couple nice ones on the edge there. So I might do that one here. A loaf of bread and a ring of rim chop. That'll work. But I don't think there's a bunch of stuff. If I go through that bag, the primary purpose of it is I'm wanting to send in 1959s, I think, with my first bulk submissions. Because I've pretty much bought up like 8 out of 10 of the PCGS graded 1959 proofs on eBay, and so I'm just trying to own that market. It's fun. So I might do that, and if I do that one, I think it's going to be going through them, trying to find the best, because I don't think there's a lot of varieties for 1959. But if we can find a new variety for 1959, that would be awesome. Thank you, Bigfoot Silver Seeker, for being here tonight. Thank you, Mario Gabutin, for being here tonight. Thank you, Logan's Likes Coins, for being here tonight. Hold on a second, I need to scroll up. Thank you, DC Piano, for being here tonight. And thank you, Les Likes Coins, for being here tonight. I used to have a better way of doing this, but I guess I can just write down when everyone comes in. I just like to thank everyone. Thank you, Bigfoot Silver and Seeker again, and anyone watching, lurking, or watching in the future. Thanks for being here tonight. If you guys ever have any questions, just leave a question in the comment section. I try to get back to people. I'm getting better at it. I stream Wednesday and Saturday nights, 9 p.m. Pacific time here in California on YouTube. So I should be here this next Saturday at 9 p.m. and every Wednesday and Saturday thereafter. Been pretty good at keeping to it. I'm glad to be able to make it tonight, because it's been a good streak. I can't remember when the last time I wasn't here. So thanks everyone for watching. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you all in the future.